Hello, so this is going to be a part 2. Last video I did was a video on why you don't need a VCA in a module this small. Now, I've had a lot of feedback. Some people have said, yep, totally agree, don't need them. If you've got a full voice, don't really need a VCA. Other people are saying, yeah, but what about your modulation of your modulation points? You can send your modulation through VCA and modulate your modulation that goes into your modulation and you get better modulation. So this part 2 video is going to be about modulating your modulation. Basically, it sounds better. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's just explain what I've got set up here so far. So off screen, I have a clock and I have a reset, and here is my clock, here is my reset, and we're going to clock. The clock is running, clocking here into mimetic and clocking here into steppy. So if I just stop that and restart, we're getting a reset so that these two are always in sync. And that's all that's going on. I've got my main 2 outputs that I'm going to send plats through into the reverb, and the red cables are just going out into my sound card so I can record in Ableton. So that's all we've got set up here. So let's make a start. Let's just start the clock, and we'll send this into plats. Plats will go out into envelope, envelope into filter, filter into reverb, reverb out, and then we just need to send output channel B here. We'll send that into envelope VCA, and then there we go, we now have output. Turn these up. That's dry. So you can already hear that we've got some sort of nice beat going on out of plats here. But the aim is that we want to use mimetic to send modulation into the harmonics and the morph. So if we can automate this, it will sound a lot better. Now that's what we did in video 1. That's exactly what we did. If you haven't seen video 1, I will link up to it in the left. But this time we're going to be sending the outputs of mimetic through the VCA before we send them into plats. Now, a lot of people asked for a video on mimetic, so I'm going to be using mimetic here, but my next video, I promise, I will do a video on mimetic, how I use it. It's quite complicated, but if you learn about 3 or 4 things, that's all you need for mimetic. So next video, promise on that. So let's send output 1 into the harmonics. Bit of reverb. So this is as far as we went in the last video. We've got 16 different randomized CV steps going into the harmonics, and you've got a nice sound coming out. So what we'll do now is we'll take that output and we'll send it through channel 3 on the VCA here. Now I can control this here. Now you say, well, why do you want to do that? It's not just an audio mixer, it's a CV mixer. Great. Now the beauty comes when I use something like this lovely little module from IntelliGel here. Let's send the sample and hold from a random clock rate into the CV input of channel 3. Now we'll just turn this up enough for something to come through to modulate the harmonics. So now some of that CV is actually making it through when the sample and hold says it can. So we've got a constantly evolving modulation of the harmonics now, which is not repetitive, and that's exactly what we're looking for. If there's not enough, we can always turn this up. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's go to another channel and we'll modulate the morph. So if our harmonic bassline was about here, so morph is a lot better when the harmonics are higher. Okay, so let's give that a go. So let's take channel 3. We'll send channel 3 into morph. Okay, and then, because that's repetitive, take that out, send it through channel 4 on a VCA, take the output, and then turn this up. And then this time we'll send the slew, because that's the last output that I've got. We'll send that in here. And then add the harmonics back in. Oh, that's a bit mad. Let's just try randomizing the outputs. Let's just see if something nicer comes up. Just dial these back a bit. Okay, let's add some CV into the pitch. Let's quantize. Just send that through. That's already sounding a lot better. Just dial back these effects a bit. And then maybe let's add some drums. Right, I think we got a little bit lost in there somewhere, so let's just dial this back out. Let's find something that we like. So now, interestingly, if you set the harmonics to 0, it takes all the formants out and they don't come in until you get to about here. So if we start down on the bass line, and then which one was our harmonics? Harmonics was coming here. So this is coming on channel 3. So let's just slowly dial this back in. And now we should start slowly feeling mimetic coming in now. There we go. And as that goes extreme, it's going into the reverb and you get a long tail. Okay, just for fun, let's put something into the filter. Let's modulate the filter cutoff. And then let's bring the morph back up. So our morph's channel 4. Channel 4 is coming into channel 3 on the mimetic. So let's just try and randomize channel 3. So let's put the bandpass output. Let's go double output into the reverb, see what that does. Maybe ping the filter as well. What have we got on channel D here? 2 pings. Let's see what the ping sounds like. Yeah, you can just hear that ping coming through the reverb. I digress though. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was clear. I've done a few different things here, but basically what we're doing is, instead of sending the modulation directly from mimetic into plats, we're sending it via a couple of VCAs, and then we're bringing those in based on some random values here. So we can set the level and then we can randomize the amount that we allow through into plats. So you end up with modulation of your modulation points. So I hope that was clear. Probably wasn't, but that is the reason that you want VCAs in your system. It gives you a more organic structure to what you're doing. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, next video I promise I will do a video more in depth on how I use mimetic, because I did set up some CV here in advance, but I'll show you how you can have 16 steps CV, you can make 4-step CV that you can move whenever you want, so you can get moving baselines. It's a really good module, so promise next one will be on that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.